Oh my goodness, you guys. I just went through the most to make sure the audio is working on my camera because it stopped working. So yes, I'm still not a YouTube expert yet, but that's not the point. I just want to make videos because I like to. So anyways, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how the military has changed me. If you're new to this channel or if you don't know who I am, my name is Amy and I have been in the United States Navy for more than 5 years now, going on 6. And it's definitely been a transformation that has happened for me since before joining to where I am now. And I thought it would be cool to talk about my journey and how I've changed in the military, and I'm going to show some pictures along the way. Let's get right into it, you guys. I am going to start my before the military story and around like my junior or senior year of high school, because it's important to know how I was thinking and what it was like before I joined the military. So if you know who I am, you knew I grew up in a very small town. I am from like the woodsy part of Massachusetts, and I grew up not quite knowing exactly what I wanted to do. I was always jealous of the people who, like, when they were a younger age, they always knew what path they wanted to pursue and they knew what they wanted to be when they grew up. But for me, I was never really quite too sure. So in high school, I spent most of my time on a cross-country and track team. I was a huge runner. I loved to run, and that was one of my passions. I also loved to do drama. In the meantime, I starred in a lot of plays in my high school, and that was kind of how I got my creative side of things out. When I was in my senior year, I felt a lot of pressure to decide on what my next path was in life, and truly, I visited a lot of colleges and just none of them felt right for me. And the story of why I joined the Navy is a different story, which I'll talk more about later. I've already kind of talked about it a little bit, but not in like super depth. But I decided to join the Navy in my senior year of high school in the very beginning in November. This was a huge step for me because a lot of people where I'm from, they don't really like join the military, so it was really big what I did and what I decided to do, especially because I don't have family in the military. So after I knew I was going to the Navy in November of my senior year, I was kind of just like over everything, and I just wanted to like leave. I wanted to get out of Western Massachusetts, and I just wanted to have a new goal in life and like new opportunities and see new places. I made it to the end of my senior year, and within 2 or 3 weeks I was shipping out to boot camp in Illinois. This was only the second time I was ever on an airplane. So I remember getting to boot camp and I was scared, but I was excited and I was ready. I wish I could make a video on boot camp, but it was like a long time ago and a lot of it's a blur. So I don't think I would be the best option to make a boot camp video. But I do remember like little tidbits from it, and I remember I was very scared. I was very timid. I was very shy. I didn't really want to try too hard to stand out because I just wanted to fly under the radar, make it out of boot camp, graduate, and then go on to my A school. That was kind of the goal for me. And I maintained that. I never got in trouble during boot camp. I was like pretty good, and I had a great division and a great bunkmate. And I was friends with people, but I was just like I was very quiet and just trying to make sure I did the right thing and not be too loud, where like if I did something wrong, everybody would know. I tell you guys, they truly messed my hair up in boot camp. I had my hair cut so cute, a cute little bob, and it was like really cute. And then when I got to boot camp, they were like, nope, it's not all the same length, so they chopped it up. I had a hair like 18 different lengths, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this looks so crazy. One thing I will tell you about boot camp is those letters and those rare phone calls. They kept me going along. I was super used to like my support system back home, and that was all I really had to lean on. So boot camp is at a finish, and the only person that can come to my graduation is my father. The rest of my family could not make it, but I was just happy to have somebody who could be there to support me, because at the time when you're graduating boot camp, you feel super, super proud of yourself, and you want somebody to be proud of you as well. I was so excited to be done. I had one little ribbon, and I was really proud of myself, and it was a huge thing for me because being from a small town, like, this is one of the biggest accomplishments I've ever done besides my running accomplishment. So at this time, I'm just proud of myself. I'm excited. I'm a bit nervous to go to my schooling and to see what like the fleet is really like. I'm still like pretty quiet and a little reserved. So when I finally get to A school and C school, I'm so used to the boot camp way of things and like thinking I'm gonna get in trouble for everything that I'm like so timid, scared, which actually a lot of people are when they first get out of boot camp. They're not used to like the relaxation that some parts of the fleet have. So I was just like so anxious and nervous I was gonna get in trouble. A school happens, it's a little hard, but I get through it. C school happens, also a little hard, but I get through it. Then I am on to my next command. The way my A school did it was the order of how well you're doing in the class is the order of who can pick what orders. So I am over here like, I only want to go to Hawaii. Like, that's the only place I want to go. Because I could see like beforehand all of our options, right? And there's no option for me to go to Hawaii because they already gave it to another first class who I loved and adored. She was a fleet returnee, so she kind of got dibs on everything. So when I'm in a room, keep in mind I am an E2, so I'm very like timid to be in a room with like a chief, a senior chief, and everything. And we're determining like my next set of orders, like where I'm going to go for the next 3 years. So we're talking about my selections. My selections were Yokosuka, Japan, Pensacola, Florida on a CPT, and ONI in Maryland, I believe. So those are the sets of orders I have to choose from. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what to do. And I had the guidance of the chief and the senior chief that were like, you're young, you're not really holding on to anything, you're only 19, like take these Japan orders, go see some of the world, and go out there and go travel. And I knew in my heart, like that's the right thing for me to do. I knew it was scary, but I was like, I need to. So I did. I took a leap of faith and I did it. And I do not regret it to this day, taking those orders. In between this all, I go home on leave for a bit, and then I'm off to Japan. So I before this point, I had never traveled outside of North America. I've been to Canada and Mexico, and that was it. So Japan was a huge culture shock for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never been anywhere that was not North America. So I'm like, wow, like this is so crazy, like I'm actually here. So that changed me in the aspect of like, I'm starting to see different places that's not what I'm used to. And through my time in Japan, I realized that's going to happen to me a lot because my ship deployed to a lot of countries. So I would definitely say, like at this time, I'm starting to understand what other cultures and other parts of the world are like. At this time, I'm so low ranking. I'm so oblivious to the world, but I'm excited and I'm ready to learn. So my ship deployed. I was on the USS Blue Ridge. We deployed to so many Asian countries, to Australia, including some other countries were India, China, South Korea, like pretty much everywhere in Southeast Asia, our ship went. And just that alone changed me so much. I'm from such a small town, and I just like, between the ages of 19 and 22, I was able to see parts of the world that people in their whole lifetime never had the opportunity to see. I just saw how privileged we are in America and how much I took for granted. When I first got to Japan, I was naive and I just wanted to trust everybody, and I wanted to believe that everybody had my best interests in mind, but anybody who's been through anything in life knows you can't trust everybody, because a lot of people want to see you fail and they don't want to see you be the best version of you. So I definitely learned at this segment in Japan that I couldn't trust everybody, and a lot of people were going to say what they wanted to say about me, but I had to believe in myself and learn from my mistakes, and learn that like the only people that talk bad about you are the people who have a problem with themselves, because anybody that talks bad about anybody else is not okay in their heart. One of the things I felt in Japan was I was so much younger than most of my coworkers, and I felt like they forgot what it was like to be my age, and I constantly felt judged by every wrong decision I made. And it was like one of the things in my life that has just transformed me to be like the woman I am today. I was so lonely. I felt like I didn't have a lot of people who really had my best interests in mind. It was just such a shock from what I was used to in my small town, and I was so far away from everything I had known. I went through a lot of pain, and I went through a lot of work hours and a lot of working nights and working weekends. And I wanted to give up so many times, but I didn't. And I'm not quite sure why, but I think it's just the persistent quality I have that I hate to fail. If you don't have a strong support system, Japan is a tough place to be stationed first. And I will say, yes, it was some of the hardest years of my life, but I really grew from it. And I kind of knew that secretly the whole time I was there. I was like, God is putting me through this because I have a lesson I need to learn, and I'm going to make it out of this, and I'm going to use it to better my life. So, about 9 months out from my PRD, from leaving Japan, I find out I'm going to Hawaii. I'm very excited about going to Hawaii because at this time I feel like Japan has done everything for me that it could, and I'm feeling beat down, and I'm just ready to go. I'm ready for a change because I love change. I get to Hawaii. I'm very excited to be on a shore command, to have a normal schedule, working Monday through Friday. But Hawaii also comes as a challenge to me. The work I was doing in Hawaii is so drastically different from anything I was used to in Japan, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so scatterbrained. And at this point, I'm not sure if the military is something I want to pursue for the rest of my career, or if I want to just do my time with my remaining contract and then get out. So the realm of the area that I was in at my job did not come to me right away. It took me almost a year to understand anything that was going on. I was feeling beat down by my personal experiences in Hawaii, and I just kind of felt like at this point like numb. I just don't really know like what my next step is. Oh, through this whole time, by the way, I'm using my TA to finish my associate's degree because I joined 2 to 3 weeks after high school, so I had no time to go to college, which I just finished my associate's degree. I feel like at my first apartment in Hawaii, there was just a very heavy energy, and it kind of translated into how I viewed my workplace because I wasn't sleeping well and I always felt exhausted. It's always hard being new somewhere because everybody else already has, the relationships they formed and the way they feel about certain things. And that's always something that's a struggle being new somewhere. But eventually I made some good friends, and I won't be lying when I say like some people really show their true colors, because you could think somebody's your friend, but they're not. I'm definitely leaving parts out because it's harder than I thought to try to do a synopsis of how the Navy changed me when I don't view it like that on my day-to-day basis. Like, this is kind of my reflection time right now. But the place I'm currently at would be a good place to stop, I guess. Currently, I feel as though my time in the Navy may be coming to an end, and I think it is time for me to pursue a different goal and a different career. The Navy has given me so much, and I'm so eternally grateful for everything. I don't regret my decision at all, but it might be time for me to go, and if it is, then thank you to the Navy for giving me everything and for helping me become the woman I am now. I would say some major changes that I could pull out of myself now, just self-reflecting and thinking about how I was when I first joined and how I am now, is I'm more confident. I definitely believe in myself more, and I know that whatever I want to accomplish, I can. If I care and believe in myself enough, I can manifest it and make it happen. I would say another thing I've learned is things aren't always as they appear. People aren't always as they appear. They're not always gonna want to do what they say they want to do for you or what they will do for you. It's important to lean on others in the Navy, and it's important to lean on others in life in general, but it's also important to be careful of who you give your trust to and who you invest your time in, because people can change up in the blink of an eye. So the Navy has definitely changed me in an aspect where I'm not that scared of anything anymore. I'm ready to accomplish like whatever my goals are, and I'm not afraid to take a chance, because I took a chance joining the Navy and it gave me a lot of positive. So now I feel as though like I've gained that confidence to go ahead and not be so afraid of everything and embrace what I feel is right for me to do in my heart and my soul. I'm ready. One of the other things the Navy has taught me is not everything is going to go your way. That's a hard one. I know I'm definitely missing things in this video. It's so hard, but that's where I'm at now. I will have more to update you guys on as the months happen and time passes, but for now, I would say like that's a brief synopsis of my time in the Navy and how I've changed and what I've learned. If you enjoyed this video, or if you have any questions for me, please drop a comment below and like this video. I make new videos every Sunday and Wednesday/Thursday, and it would mean the world to me if you subscribe to my channel. And stay tuned because I have so many more good topics to talk about, and I have so many ideas for videos and vlogs. I'm looking back at the clips I filmed earlier, and I totally forgot to address how independent I became from being in the Navy. Before I joined the Navy, I was so dependent on everybody else's opinion, my families, my friends. But joining the Navy was the only decision I had ever really made on my own that was huge. And it's continued through my time in the Navy. I have really maintained that independence, that it's my life. I make the choices I choose. I might lean on family members or friends for advice, but at the end of the day, it's my life and I'll make the choice I want.